Okay, so now I'm going to add some more buildings into the background. So to start a new building, I'm going to start with a vertical line. So I'm going to do one on this side. So we start with a vertical line for the side of the building. And I'm just going to make it a little bit, see I left a little space, I'm going to make it a little bit to the side of the last building I made. And for this building I'm going to make slightly taller. So there we go. And this one I made actually touching the sidewalk. Okay, then I'm going to make the top of the building, right? And then the side of the building is just going to go down and touch the side of that building. So I made a rectangle. Let's see. We need to make the bottom of the building right there. That's what I forgot. See the little bottom part? Okay, then I'm going to go to the corner and we make a line going down to the vanishing point. So I line up the corner with the vanishing point. Oops. And then we make a line. I'm not going to go all the way down to the vanishing point. I'm just going to stop right there. Okay? And then we draw a line for the side of the building. So I just go straight down to the sidewalk. And there's my second building. Now, I did not need to make a line from this corner to the vanishing point. Why? Because it would have gone through the building, right? Just like I didn't need to make a line from this corner of the building that's behind this other building because it would go through. All right, so we got a building there. Now I'm going to do one over on this side. So I'm going to leave a little space in between these two buildings. And on this time, I'm going to make it set off. I'm going to make it set off the sidewalk a little bit. So I'm going to start a little above the sidewalk. And we're going to go straight up. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to make it slightly taller than my last building. We go top of the building with a horizontal line. And then the side of the building with a vertical line. Stopping at that building because it's behind. Then we go, what did I forget? Anyone know what I forgot? This is what a lot of kids forget. They always forget the bottom of the building. So make sure you do that. So I'm going to go here and just make a little horizontal line for the bottom of the building. That's a super easy step to forget. So now I need to go from this corner and this corner over to the dot. And again, you don't have to go the whole way, just partially. All right, and then we go from the bottom corner. If your building is on the sidewalk, you don't have to do this step. Whoops, I have to move the ruler, it's a little too long. Okay, so if you were on the sidewalk, you wouldn't have to do that step because that line already is there. All right, and then we're gonna do the side. So be careful that you don't make your side at an angle. Make sure you make it straight up and down. And we just connect the bottom to the top. And if you have any extra lines hanging out, you can erase those. You can erase the lines going through the building. Okay, so now I have 4 buildings, right? So right now I'm going to add some more buildings. I'm just going to keep adding, and you'll see that as I go backwards, I start to make the building smaller. And from here on out, I'm going to do, for this part, I'm going to just fast forward the video because I think you guys should get how to make the buildings at this point. And then we'll come back and I'll show you how to add some more little details. Okay, so we got a bunch of buildings. I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I made 5 on each side. I would say when I do this project in class, I usually say I want at least 8 buildings. Okay, so make sure you have at least 8 buildings in your picture. All right, now, next we're going to finish the sidewalk and the road next, and then from there I'm going to show you how to add windows to our buildings. Okay, so for the lines in the sidewalk, we're going to do, I'm going to use my big ruler actually. We're going to do lines going horizontally on the top part of the sidewalk. So I'm lining my ruler up so it's parallel with the bottom of the paper, and then we're going to make a line. I'm just going to do it on each side. Just for the top part of the sidewalk. Don't do it on the side part of the sidewalk. Then I'll move my ruler back, you know, however wide I want my sidewalk lines to be, and I'll repeat that step. Whoops. Move my ruler, so I got to get it back in place. Okay, now from here on out, as you move backwards, these lines are going to get closer and closer together because it's getting further away from us. So the sidewalk squares should get smaller as they go backwards. So as I'm going backwards now, I'm going to make them closer together. Okay, so we got the top of the sidewalk done. Now I'm going to use my smaller ruler for this next step. Now for the side of the sidewalk, we want our lines to go straight down. So these are vertical lines, so they're parallel with the side of the paper. I see this all the time from students. They make the lines at an angle like that. That's not correct. We want to make them, I don't know why, it's hard to force yourself to make this ruler vertical, but you got to make it vertical, and then you're just going to connect this line to the bottom of the sidewalk. And there is the side of the sidewalk. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all of my lines in the sidewalk. And we're back. Just so you guys know, in this part of the video, I did cut out part of me making the windows, so hopefully you can catch up from here. All right. So I was in kind of a rush there, but you see how the windows get smaller as they go to the side, and you can see that it depends on where the horizon line. If the windows are above the horizon line, the tops and bottoms of the windows are angled down. If they are below the horizon line, they are angled up. And then we'll go ahead and add a door. Anytime you're adding a door, the top of the door on this side of the building also would go to the vanishing point. See how that line went up to the vanishing point? So you can get crazy with this and go as detailed as you want. I'm just trying to keep it a little simple right now for demonstration's sake, but you could really go crazy. I would probably want to add windows on these doors, or I added little doorknobs. You might want them to be glass doors. I mean, there's a lot you can do. I might put a sign on here with a label. There's a lot of things you can do. So an easy way to make windows on a building. Sometimes glass buildings are just all windows, right? They're just so we're gonna just make lines. We'll make some. Oh, that was a terrible line. Do you see that? That was not very horizontal. I made that too much at an angle. You really got to be careful that you make your lines parallel to the top parts of the building. So I'm just gonna make some horizontal lines. Okay. We're going to make this an all glass building. Then the lines on this side, we start from where that horizontal line ends on the side of the building, and we make it go to the vanishing point. So again, to the vanishing point. So I start each line where the last line left off, and then I go to the vanishing point.